All right. So on this one, um, okay, this is a transfer pricing problem. So we've got the Harrington Mills has two operating units, each of which is considered an investment center. Well, what does that mean by an investment center? It means that they are judged based um, on their financial return on assets, that sort of thing. The cutting division of the mill prepares timber at the sawmills. Afterwards, the assembly division prepares the cut lumber into um, finished wood to be sold to furniture manufacturers. During the most recent year, the cutting division produced 120,000 cords of wood at a total cost of $1,320,000. The entire output was transferred to the assembly division, where additional costs of $6 per cord were incurred. The 120,000 board feet um, of finished wood were then sold in the open market for $5 million. Okay, determine the operating income for each division if the transfer price from the cutting division to the assembly division is set at full production cost of $11 per cord. All right. So so number one here, we have the cutting division, and so their sales is going to be 1,200,000, or sorry, 120,000 cords of wood times $11 per cord equals 1,320,000. Their costs were 1,320,000, and so they had zero operating income. On the other hand, the assembly division had sales of $5 million. That's just given to us. Less our transfer price of 1,320,000 and minus the $6 times 120 cords of wood. 20,000 cords of wood. So that ought to be 720,000. And it is. Subtract those off, and we get an operating income of 5 million minus 1,320,000 minus 720,000 is 2,960,000. Okay, so so then they ask us, what if it were $9 per cord of wood? Anyway, so one of the things before we move on there, let me point out that if we add this together, the total profit for the whole company is 2,960,000. So in part two here, we're going to have 120,000 cords of wood times 9 is going to be 1,080,000. Our costs remain at 1,320,000, giving us operating income of negative 240,000. Right? That's 8 out of 5. Okay, so then we come over here to the assembly department. Our sales are going to be the same, 5 million, less our transfer cost. That changes, and that changes to 1,080,000. Our additional cost stays the same, 6 times 120,000 cords, 720,000. So that becomes 1,800,000. And so this becomes 3,200,000. And if we add that up, 3,200,000 minus 240, our total profit for the company still remains that 2,960,000. And then 3, since the division is selling all of its output internally, does the manager care what price is charged? They don't, as long as the company recognizes that they're setting the price, and so he shouldn't be judged based on a profit. And it says in this case, be considered a cost center or a profit or investment center. I would say it should be a cost center. They just should try to keep their costs as low as possible, and that's what they should be judged by, as long as they maintain the quality that is required. Okay. All right, let's try another one. I think this next one is also a transfer pricing problem. Okay, we've got Jack Malone, manager of Division C of FX Corporation, is considering a new investment for his division. The division currently has investment base of $4 million and operating income of approximately $600,000 per year. The new investment of $500,000 supports corporate strategy and is expected to increase operating income by $50,000 next year, an acceptable level of return from the standpoint of the corporation as a whole. What is the current return on investment for Division C? So number 1 is simply the $600,000, the income, divided by the investment of $4 million, and that's going to equal 15% or 0.15, however you want to word that. Okay, what will be the ROI of the division if the new investment is undertaken? So 2 will be 650,000 divided by 4,500,000. And that will give it 14.4%. 14.44, if you want to carry it on out a little bit. Suppose the manager's compensation consists of a salary plus a bonus proportional to divisional ROI. Would the manager's compensation be higher with or without the new investment? It would be higher without. And then suggest changes to corporate management that will better align with the evaluation compensation for the corporate goals. So what we would want to go through here is an economic value added or a residual income, um, where the economic value added or residual income would show, because it says that the 10%, which is what they get, 50,000 divided by 500,000 is 10%, is an acceptable rate of return for the corporation. So if that's going to be an acceptable rate of return, they need a compensation program that uh, allows for a lower rate of return but a higher overall income. All right, let's see if that one works.